In this lesson, we'll work on maintaining volume in the knees and elbows. What we'll need are averaging bones, so that as the shins and forearms rotate, we'll get half the amount of rotation on these bone objects. And then as we start to skin, we'll notice volume being brought back. So really exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and get to it. I'll focus on the left half of the character, and I'll leave the right half up to you because the steps are going to be the same, more or less. Let's go ahead and head over to our Create panel. We'll create a point helper. Let's make sure it's display set to box. Let's add it to our scene. And now we'll use Alt-A to align this to the left shin. Nice. We'll make sure we have aligned in position and orientation. We'll choose OK. Let's also bring down the size of this just a bit. Maybe to about 15. Alright, wonderful. Now what I'd like to do is go ahead and store this in the hidden layer. It's a good idea to do that now, so as we clone from this object, the new objects will automatically be added to that same layer. Now let's go ahead and give this a name. It's going to be Bone L Knee. Nice. Alright, so from here, what we can do is go ahead and link this to the shin. Great. So as we start to rotate the shin, of course this will follow. Alright, pretty basic stuff, right? Now, let's say we do this. After freezing this object, we'll then go ahead and clone it. We'll name this PT AVG for average L knee. Sweet. From there we'll go ahead and click OK. Now let's go ahead and switch its display from box to cross. Wonderful. Next, we'll want to take this and link it to the bone above it. So in this case, that's going to be the thigh. When we get to the elbow, we'll want to make sure that this helper is linked to the shoulder. Alright, fantastic. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and freeze its transforms. Keep in mind, this still has the same orientation as our knee bone. So when we apply an orientation constraint, nothing will shift. And we're ready to do that now. So with our knee bone selected, let's go ahead and grab our orientation constraint. Again, if you have not added it to your animation quad menu, you can go to animation and choose constraint, and there it is at the end of the list. Now, let's go ahead and constrain this over to the new helper that we've added. Once we've done that, we'll then want to orientation constrain it to our shin bone, the same bone that we have linked this object to. So I'll go ahead and grab it from my animation quad menu and apply. Fantastic. So watch this. When we now start to rotate the shin, you'll notice that we get half the amount of rotation on our knee bone. How cool is that? Let's have a close look at the knee bone so we can see exactly what's happening. We'll go ahead and jump over to our motion panel. Underneath rotation, we'll find our orientation constraint settings. And here it is. You can see that both weights are set to 50%. That's why we have this averaging type of rotation where we only get half the amount as we rotate the shin. Very nice. So we need to do that for the other knee. We'll also need to do that for the elbow. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the left elbow, and again, I'll leave the right side up to you. So let's say we go ahead and grab our knee bone, and we'll go ahead and clone it. So with it selected, we'll press Ctrl V. We can rename it from here, so that's Bone L Elbow. Sweet. And then from there, let's say we go ahead and freeze its transforms just to clear up the orientation constraint. I'll then go ahead and use Alt-A to align this over to the forearm. Once we've managed to do that, we'll then want to link it to that same bone object. Nice. Alright, so at this point, I'd like to go ahead and freeze transforms on this again. We can then go ahead and clone the object. This is going to be PT AVG L Elbow. Nice, let's go ahead and choose OK. Now let's go ahead and change its display to cross, and then we'll link this to our shoulder. Nice. So from there, let's go ahead and freeze its transforms. And now it's time to apply our orientation constraints. So let's go ahead and grab the elbow bone. We'll grab our orientation constraint, and we will constrain to the helper. We'll then constrain to the forearm bone, and now it's time to test this out. We'll grab the forearm, we'll start to rotate. How cool is that? So this is a little trick I like to use for, again, holding volume. I'm going to go ahead and show you another way we can set this up for the buttocks. So that'll be another cool topic. Well, that's it for this lesson. Again, I'll leave the right half of the character up to you. And in the following lesson, guess what? We're ready to start attaching more muscle systems to the rest of the skeleton.